If you're looking for a trusted source to help you stay on top of the ever-changing financial world of investing, retirement and estate planning, and asset protection, whether it's for you and your family or your small business, you're in the right place. This is the 1715 Treasure Coast Financial Wellness Podcast, where we'll keep you up to speed with the latest market news and conditions every week. Now, here's your host, Thomas Davies.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the 1715 Treasure Coast Financial Wellness Podcast. My name is Thomas Davies. I am a wealth advisor here in Stuart, Florida. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you hear and you find it informational and educational. That is what we're here for, to give you a little insight into the world of finance. So with that, we've got a great show for you today. We have special guest Dr. Ahuva Gamliel talking about natural medicine and natural healing. That is going to be exciting. Learn about a little bit of the world of medicine and how it's all done naturally. So I'd like to formally wish everyone a happy belated Halloween. Hopefully everybody had a safe Halloween out there in trick-or-treat land. An interesting little tidbit of news. There are record highs this year in costumes, and specifically for pets. Did you dress up your dog or cat? I know I didn't. But believe it or not, it's one of the most top costumes that were bought, were pet costumes. Another thing this weekend, don't forget to set your clocks back. If you're like myself, everything's digital, so it does it automatically. But just a reminder that this weekend we do set our clocks back and we get that extra hour of sleep. So a little more news for the week here. The Fed did it again. They raised another 75 basis points. We kind of figured that was going to happen, as in last week's podcast. I had mentioned that based off the GDP numbers. The talk this week, it seems as though that recession may not come, that it may be a softer landing. Unfortunately, you don't know you're in a recession generally until you're already in it. Some people feel that we're already in it, with inflation being as high as it is. Certainly you go to the grocery store or you go to the gas pump and everything is higher, or even going out to eat for that matter. Have you seen the price of chicken wings lately? It's unbelievable. So with that, of course, we had the volatility in the markets, down 500 one day, up 500 the next. And it looks like we're headed to close lower on the week after a phenomenal up month in October. Short-term interest rates have gone through the roof. They spiked very sharply amid central bank policy. And as we all await that peak hawkishness to just whenever that's going to come, and, you got to believe once the Fed even hints at pivoting or slowing down, it may be off to the races in the markets. But until that happens, it just seems like the S&P 500 is going to trade in this range from that 3,600 up to about 4,300 is my number. It looks like we topped out about 3,900 on Tuesday, and it traded back down, and then now we're trading back up again today. And it just that theme of continued volatility. And for those long-term investors, it's just a great time once again to go in, look at your portfolio. Tech has been absolutely hammered. We're seeing that with Meta or Facebook down over 70% year to date. They are going all in on the metaverse. How many out there have the Oculus glasses? I can tell you that we have at home for my son. We have the PlayStation 4 virtual reality glasses, and it's pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, check it out. For some of the older listeners out there, it may be something you look at with your grandkids. But it's definitely interesting. It's they say it's the future. I can't imagine sitting home instead of staring at a TV, having a pair of goggles on, and that's going to be the TV. But apparently, Facebook and Meta, they think that is the future, and a lot of people have bet against them. So it's very interesting there. With that, also, an investing theme going along with technology in the future is the future of different energies, whether it be it solar, wind, water. These may be places that you can look in your portfolio if you haven't been there or have not invested there. It may be something that you want to look into. The early bird certainly gets the worm, and with 47% of the population being millennials, certainly the green concept is very important to that generation. So it's about getting there first, and it may be something that you want to talk with your advisor or give us a call. Certainly the ESG strategy has been employed here at Davies Wealth Management. We've been investing in ESG themes for probably the last 3.5 years. It's something that I find important, that the environmental social governance, and that's what ESG stands for, is important. We feel that it's important for the environment. It's also treating your employees right and keeping good books. Not so much the left agenda that has been attached to ESG. But, I certainly, when I go fishing out on my boat, I'm not throwing garbage or cans into the ocean. I'm respectful of the environment as much as I can be, and try to recycle when I can. And we won't go into that debate of recycling and how much gets recycled and not. That could be whole nother show. But it's important, and certainly treating your employees right. You have to have good social governance. And for you business owners out there, if you don't treat your employees well, they're not going to stay. You probably know that. So that S in social governance is vital and important. And then keeping good books, not cooking the books. It's kind of a no-brainer. So I think that some of the ESG has kind of gotten a bad rap over the last probably 6 to 8 months. But certainly the foundation and fundamentals of why you would invest in an ESG theme is important. So if you're not familiar with it, give me a call. We can talk about it. It's like I said, one of the things that we do here is it's important to the environment, important to keep good social governance and good books. And those are the companies that we look to invest in, that kind of follow those guidelines. If they're not following those guidelines, they're probably not going to be in business in 10 years. And that's not just me saying that. That is Larry Fink from BlackRock. He come out and he said if businesses are not doing business in an ESG manner, that in 10 years they will likely not be in business. And that's from the world's top money manager. So anyway, with that, and without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Ahuva Gamliel on the show. It's going to be interesting here, and so here we go. Welcome, Dr. Gamliel, to the 1715 Treasure Coast Financial Wellness Podcast.
Thank you.
And so, today we're going to talk about natural medicine, a little bit of acupuncture, and whatever else it is that you think that we all need, because it's certainly been stressful on my side of things in the market this year. And, I know people are always looking for ways for natural medicine and natural healing. And, with that, let's talk about what are some good examples of natural medicine.
Well, holistic medicine encompasses a very broad spectrum. It could be anything from nutrition, physical activity, supplements such as vitamins and minerals, herbal medicine, homeopathy, anything that's natural and non-invasive that can be utilized for health and well-being.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess, a lot of times, like, what is the best? People are always searching, what is the best natural medicine? I know, the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So, people think of foods in that aspect of best natural medicine. What are some of the natural medicines that you recommend? And, what are the best and maybe some of the top requested ones when people come in? I know, like myself, I take vitamins and supplements and whether they work or not, I'm going to take them because I believe that they do. And maybe we could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost would be food. I mean, that's probably the most obvious. So preferably organic fruits, vegetables, berries, natural things such as whole grains. And if you're going to be consuming animal products, try to make them, the poultry be hormone free, the beef be grass fed, the fish be wild caught and not farm raised. So having like the cleanest food with the least pesticides will be the best for the body. So your body can have clean energy and can fight off disease on its own, because you and I and everyone else, we are all exposed to bacteria and viruses. And if our immune systems are really strong, sometimes we don't even have to get sick. We might not even know, that we were exposed even to COVID, and the same thing even with chronic illnesses such as cancer. People have cancer cells, which is an abnormal proliferation or reproduction of cells in the body. But when our immune systems are strong by consuming healthy and fresh foods, not processed, not frozen, not canned, just healthy food, fresh food, it's that simple, then our body can fight off even things like cancer before we even develop any symptoms.
Wow, that's big. I mean, the C word, that's huge. And without naming any particular stores, we know that there's some stores out there that, they specific to that grass-fed beef, if you eat beef. And once again, those, like you said, the fruits and vegetables that don't have the pesticides and things of that, that are like that. How important is that? Because I know that you look on a box of something or anything, and there's probably 50 different types of things in there that, no one's ever heard of, and we don't know what's in it.
Yeah, I really recommend reading all of the ingredients of anything that you ingest. And if there's anything that you can't pronounce, you probably shouldn't be eating it. And marketing is a very clever ploy these days. So even if you go to a supermarket that's supposed to be, organic and healthy food, even in their frozen section, if you look at the bags of frozen produce, it may say, for example, grown in China. And what kind of, organic supervision do they have over their produce? Probably none, so you really have to be careful what are your sources. I mean, in an ideal world, we would be growing our own fruits and vegetables and eating them.
Wow. So even in these establishments that promote natural foods, we still got to read the labels.
100%.
Yeah, it's, and I think that's the importance of it. Our healthy, conscious people that are listening to the podcast are probably already doing that. But, and it's just kind of I like what you had to say there, that, if you cannot pronounce it, then you probably don't want to eat it.
Yeah. And also you mentioned something about the placebo effect. That is a valid thing. I mean, people believe that something is going to work. Well, that can affect it working. Regarding supplements, different people need different supplements depending on their genetic predisposition, their age, all of their different unique symptoms and whatever's best for them. But in general, as far as supplements go, liquid ones are the best because your body can absorb it right away. I mean, that's second to, of course, IV intravenous or IM intramuscular, but those are, you require a doctor. But if you're taking something over the counter, if you could find, for example, a liquid multivitamin, it's much easier for your body to absorb than something that's in a capsule. And if you do get something that's in a pill form, I recommend a capsule over a tablet because tablets have binders and fillers in order to keep them congealed, and that makes it harder for the body to break down. So a quick test to see whether or not you're getting a good supplement that your body is absorbing is to take a little bit of Coke, because it has approximately the same pH as your stomach. Your stomach acid is like a 2 and Coca-Cola is like a 2.2. So if you put Coke on top of your multivitamin or whatever supplement that you're taking in tablet form, if it doesn't dissolve within 20 minutes, then it's probably not dissolving in your stomach and you're just getting what we call expensive urine.
Wow, well, that is some great information, and because our listeners are all around the country, I know you're based in Hollywood, Florida, and are these some of the things, if someone was to come in to see you, you can kind of go over with them, and I know you do some in-house, like give B12 shots. What are some of the things that you do in your office that for people who can come see you, that are attributed to that, is, like the B12 and some of the natural healing medicines that you offer there in your office?
So as a holistic practitioner, you can see behind me, this is a massage table. I do acupuncture here, but in addition to the treatments in person, I do recommend for people special diets depending on their needs. It might be an alkaline diet, which is an anti-inflammatory diet, depending if they have an inflammatory condition, or some people, if they want to lose weight, I work with them with that. My actual office is located inside of a pharmacy, so my patients get 5% off any vitamins, minerals, herbal medicine that I do prescribe for them. But if somebody is, let's say, in another state or even in another country, we could do a holistic health consultation over the phone. So I am offering telehealth and wellness phone consultations and video call consultations. So I want to make this information, this holistic healing medicine, accessible to everyone worldwide. That's ultimately my goal.
Yeah, fantastic. And we'll make sure to have all your information in our Zoom at the bottom of our YouTube video, where you can reach out to Dr. Gamliel and email her and call her office. And you mentioned the word acupuncture. And as one who's not favorable of needles, we can talk about a little bit about that. And maybe just tell us what does acupuncture actually do for the body, other than put a whole bunch of pins in you?
Sure. So I actually have a little model I'll show you. This shows the body with the acupuncture channels or meridians on them. These are the lines of energy running through the body. And then these little points are the acupuncture or acupressure points. And in Chinese medicine, we believe that when the energy gets stuck or stagnant in the body, that's when we start having health issues. It could be body aches and pains, such as low back pain, or it could be digestive issues like constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, could be headaches, or whatever it is that the person is facing. So by utilizing these pressure points, we help to move the qi, which is the vital energy, and the blood flow in the body. And the circulation is what promotes healing. So there's many ways to achieve that, and we can do it without needles. I did have needle phobic patients in the past, and the acupuncture needles are like the breadth of a hair. They're very fine. And it's not like getting a blood draw where, even big guys pass out, Well, first of all, you're laying down, so you can easily take a nap. But there are other alternatives besides the needles. Let me show you very quickly, because we're in my office, so I have access to all my little tools. But this is a little device. It's called a Pointer Plus, which we could stimulate the pressure points without using needles. So basically, I just turn it on. I find the point here. You could hear like a tiny little
Yep, we can hear
noise,
that.
and then I press the button, and then you might see the light going on. And now it's delivering a little current to the pressure point. This point on my hand is on the large intestine channel. It's called the panacea point, which means cure all, because it's one of the most utilized points for moving your blood and your qi. So now what I feel here is a little pulsation, like tuk, 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 like it doesn't hurt. It's actually kind of like a little massage. So the noise finds the point, and then I deliver the little pulsation to the point. So this is great for children and for elderly and for needle phobic patients as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that, when you say the word acupuncture, a needle immediately pops in. So it's great to know that, it's not necessarily needles. And I guess one of the questions is, does it work immediately? I mean, like right away, am I going to feel better, or, an hour from now or a week from now? How does that work as far as the effectiveness?
So that all depends on what's going on. So for example, I have had people with either sinusitis or migraine headaches that come in during an episode where they're either very congested or they have a migraine. There was one gentleman I remember in particular. Sometimes people, when they get migraines, they get something called photophobia, which means extreme sensitivity to the light. So he came in, and the entire time that I was speaking with him, his eyes were closed because the lights bothered him. But of course, during the treatment, I turn off the lights. And then within 20 minutes, he popped open his eyes and he said, the light doesn't bother me anymore. So it could be as quickly as immediately, like during the treatment. The acupuncture actually, the effects of it last for about 3 days in your body after the treatment. And then depending on like how chronic the issue is, what are the other contributing factors? There might be environmental allergens or dietary allergens. Depending on everything else, it could take several sessions before you notice an improvement.
Wow, that's great. So it's something that it sounds like I would need to come back for, maybe some follow-up treatments. It's not necessarily a cure-all, but it's going to treat the effects of whatever's going on and get my chi in the right place.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a one and done like you're describing. It can also be utilized for prevention and maintenance. So you don't have to come when you have a problem. You can come just for stress reduction, relaxation. I do suction cup therapy on the back. It's very relaxing. It can be detoxifying. People do it for facial rejuvenation as a nice alternative to Botox and other, beauty or cosmetic treatments. So there's so many utilizations and applications for acupuncture. It doesn't necessarily have to be for pain or disease.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I guess, I wouldn't be doing any disservice or service if I asked, are there any negative side effects to acupuncture?
No, that's a great question, and I'm glad you asked. So occasionally there might be like a little bruise or a little discomfort around the area of insertion of the needle. I should say that the needles are disposable. They're used once and they're thrown away. They're not autoclaved and reused. And they are stainless steel. So most people don't have like a stainless steel allergy. So in general, there's no bad effects. In fact, I say acupuncture has side benefits, not side effects. And the side benefits include better energy, better sleep, better digestion. So people, when they have a treatment, they come out with things that they didn't expect. Like, for example, I had a gentleman that came in for knee pain, and on his intake form, he also checked off tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears. So I gave him a treatment, and then when he came for his follow-up, I said, by the way, how's the ringing in your ears? And he said, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it's gone. So when we treat the whole person and the person's body comes into balance, it affects different things that they didn't even expect, or they weren't even coming seeking relief from that. So that's the beauty.
And that was kind of my last question. You kind of hit it there. What are the top benefits? And it sounds like it's a great alternative medicine to where a lot of doctors will push type pills and band-aids, so to speak, whereas you're kind of attacking the problem, not just the symptoms of what's going on with that person.
Yeah, so the premise is that the body is intelligent and the body knows how to heal itself. We just stimulate that process. We just help the body to do what it does best, so we remove the obstacles to health, and then by promoting with the right herbal medicine and nutrients and movements, it could be also some exercises, depending on what the person is coming in for. We just help the body to heal itself.
That's fantastic. So I always like to ask a last couple questions, and one is, what was your toughest case that came in that probably was the most difficult? And then I always like to end on a laugh. And what is your funniest case that you ever have that you think of, and you're already smiling, and I'm sure you're thinking of it, that's going to make you laugh?
Yeah, okay. So my toughest case was, I had a gentleman who came in with macular degeneration, which is a very serious eye condition. There's nothing that can be done in conventional medicine. And at the time, I was an acupuncturist on a cruise ship. So I didn't have very much time with this person, but we did 10 treatments every day consecutively. And much to my surprise and bewilderment, because macular degeneration is not a very common condition, and I had never treated it before, but we did pressure points around the eyes. So basically, we're bringing the circulation to the eyes. We're telling the body, this is what we want you to heal. So the body listened and the body responded, and it was incredible. So this person had black circles in his visual field that disappeared. So, I mean, it just makes I don't know if you probably can't see this, but it makes my hair stand up, because it's so chilling. Like when you see these miracles, I mean, I don't know what else to call it, So, and it's just such an honor and a privilege and a thrill to be part of that, So that was the most, unexpected and shocking. And I don't know if I would say difficult, but it's just, blew everybody away.
Yeah, it sounds like the most fulfilling for sure.
Yeah, because really, I didn't know it. We were just basically taking like a shot in the dark, as they say. Like, I didn't know if it was going to work. I couldn't guarantee them. I couldn't say, oh yeah, I've treated 20 patients with this condition and 80% of them get better. Like I just had no reference for this whatsoever. So then the funniest one, also on the cruise ship. So the way that we got patients was on sea days, we would give these kind of informatory lectures, and then people would get interested, and because most people think of acupuncture only for pain conditions, but then as they become educated that it can help for digestive disorders, for example. So I saw a lady who was dependent on reflux medication. She had GERD, which is esophageal reflux. So we did like 3 sessions of acupuncture, and she said, I don't need my GERD medication anymore. She was, so happy about that. And she said to me, my husband, I'm going to recommend that he come to you for his shoulder pain, but he's not going to tell you this, but he also has erectile dysfunction. And, she was correct. On my intake form, her husband did not check off the box for ED. It's very embarrassing for men, So I did a treatment for his shoulder, but on the ear and on the hands and the feet and different places, there's acupuncture points for circulation. So I did those. And a few days later, she comes to my office and she says to me, what did you do to him? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, I feel like we're on our second honeymoon.
Oh,
and again, there go the goosebumps. I'm like, wow, that's so great. And of course, it's not going to be like that for everyone all the time, because people have different reasons for ED. It could be, psychological stress, could be diabetes, cholesterol, health issues, physiological issues. But a lot of times when it is a circulation issue and we boost the circulation, and we can do that also with herbs and natural supplements, then the body just responds. And it was like it was so great for them.
Yeah, no, that what a wonderful feeling it had to be for that couple.
Yeah.
To have something like that, yeah, it's an embarrassing and very fragile issue for many people. Well, Dr. Gamliel, I sincerely appreciate your time today. The information has been incredible. So for those of you who are out there listening, give her a call, look her up on her website. She did mention the telehealth, so you can do a Zoom meeting just like we're doing here. And, she can help you out with all your issues, or most of them anyway. And so thank you again, and I appreciate it. I'd love to have you back, and look forward to seeing you here in the future.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Thomas.
All right. Thanks again, Dr. Gamliel. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Wow, what a world of information with Dr. Ahuva Gamliel. Thank you again for being on the show. Who knew that you had to read labels and you still have to go into these stores that promote all natural and wellness, and you still kind of have to recheck what they stock on their shelves. Once again, we'll have Dr. Gamliel's information in the description on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, that's Dr. Ahuva Gamliel, located in Hollywood, Florida. And we thank her again for being on the show. So anyway, don't forget to set your clocks back this weekend. I thank you for listening, and I thank you for being part of the show. We achieved 100 downloads, so that's great news. And once again, the comments and likes, keep them coming. And if there's something that you wanted to hear on the show that we can mention, or a subject matter, just drop us a line, and we'll try to get it on there. We're looking forward to having Rich Karplus, our CPA, next week as we get towards year end, and taxes are going to be important. So we look forward to having Richard Karplus, the CPA, on the show next week, and we're going to talk all about taxes and try not to put you to sleep, but maybe some things that you can do inside your taxes and inside your portfolio to take advantage this year. So with that, thanks again, and have a great week, and we will see you next week. I am out.
Thank you for listening to the 1715 Treasure Coast Financial Wellness Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who might like it, and please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to contact us, find more information, or if you'd like to keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn, check out our website at www.tdwealth.net. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week.